Iran didn't lose because America outspent them. Iran lost because America stopped caring about impressing them. For 20 years, the Revolutionary Guard studied one thing obsessively: the bill, every U.S. warship, every interceptor missile, every scrambled fighter jet. The Strait of Hormuz is 21 miles of water. 1/5 of the world's oil squeezes through it daily. Iran sat on its edge with speedboats. Fiberglass, outboard engines, some with machine guns, each worth less than a used pickup. Their strategy: swarm doctrine, launch 40-50 boats simultaneously. Make the radar screen a blizzard. Fire a $1.1 million missile at a $50,000 boat, or risk it reaching its target. Either way, Iran won. The destroyer carries limited missiles. Once empty, that $2.2 billion ship becomes a floating target. It was elegant. It was ruthless. And for years, nobody had a clean answer to it. Then someone in U.S. Central Command asked the question that changed everything. What if we stop playing their game entirely? The A-10 Thunderbolt II is not a glamorous aircraft. It was never meant to be. The GAU-8 Avenger, 7 rotating barrels. 30mm depleted uranium shells. 65 rounds per second. At Mach 3, these rounds don't pierce a target. They erase it. Too slow, they said. Obsolete. Replace it with something faster, sleeker. Something with a price tag that justifies the budget line. Every time, the pilots and soldiers said, "Don't you dare." Now here's why this matters in the Strait of Hormuz. Speed is a liability in a 21-mile-wide waterway. An F-18 screams through the strait in seconds. One look, one pass, then back to the carrier. The A-10 loiters. It circles, it waits. 4 hours of endurance over the combat zone, extendable with aerial refueling. And while it waits, it doesn't hunt blind. Above at 30,000 feet, invisible to everything below, it identifies which boats carry weapons, which are fishermen, which are cargo ships. Then it pushes that complete picture directly into the Warthog's cockpit through Link 16, a real-time digital map, where every hostile boat appears as a labeled icon with speed, direction, and weapon type. The pilot doesn't search. The first weapon the A-10 reaches for isn't the cannon. It's the APKWS, a 1970s unguided. Each one steers in real time toward the laser energy, reflecting off the target. The lead speedboat zigzags at 45 miles per hour, evasive patterns drilled hundreds of times in Iranian waters. The APKWS adjusts, it follows. It finds the engine compartment and detonates with less than 1 meter of error. Boat 1, dead in the water. Boat 2, same result seconds later. Boat 3. And here's where Iran's entire doctrine collapses, not from firepower, but from psychology. Formation discipline breaks. 30 coordinated attackers become 30 confused individuals, each accelerating in a different direction. Each one now a stationary target waiting its turn. That's when the pilot switches to the cannon. The GAU-8 spins up in 0.2 of a second. A 0.7 of a second burst sends 45 depleted uranium rounds downward. At 3 times the speed of sound. Rolls across the water and reaches the Iranian commanders watching from the coast. A fiberglass hull meeting those rounds is not a battle. It's a physics demonstration. The boat doesn't sink. It ceases to exist as a coherent object. It was a business model: exploit the cost gap, drain the treasury, make American dominance economically unsustainable. The Warthog didn't just defeat that model, it inverted it. Now every cheap swarm weapon, Iranian speedboats, Houthi drones, Chinese fast attack craft, faces the same math. The Warthog didn't just win a battle in the Strait of Hormuz, from an aircraft old enough to have fought in a different century. You studied our price tag. You should have studied our patience.